I'm gonna drop this. So
In
we've already
evidence?
seen, yeah,
Mhm.
we've
Okay.
already seen in the manga that this fight already happened, and we already saw the outcome. So it's pretty much already kind of said and done as to who wins.
That's your argument?
I mean, yeah, because he straight up just blitzed Nagato on panel, so there's really no kind of way getting about it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so give me a second.
You have
Let
any
me get my
problems with
scans
this?
up. I do. So let me present my scale real quick. Let me find my scans. Got them all in a folder. All right. So what is stopping Nagato from just hitting a GG with Chibaku Tensei or the Soul Rip?
The Soul Rip?
Yeah.
The Soul Rip, he would have had to get his hands on him, which I just don't think he's fast enough to do, to be honest. And
Why
then
not?
shoot. Why not?
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't scale to Itachi's speed. He can't really move that much, to be honest. His legs really work out.
So you remember when um Naruto and Itachi were trading blows, KCM1 Naruto. Would you consider
Yeah.
them relative in speed reaction time?
I think they could have just been forcibly holding back just to get information from each other. I don't think they're either one of them were going all out to make each other like relative anyway. I think
Um,
Itachi could have just been faster just based off of what he did in Nagato.
okay, so my assertion is that Itachi was still under the Edo Tensei, so he lacks the will to hold back, and they were trading blows, so we can scale KCM1 Naruto at least relative to Itachi, who Killer B at this time scales above, who Nagato reacts to Killer B, scaling Nagato above Itachi in speed.
Do you wait? You said Killer B over KCM1 Naruto?
Yeah,
Why?
it's just he's just faster. Like Naruto has problems with him in KCM1. Now KCM2 is different, but KCM1 Naruto's still not up to par with Killer B, like with his full mastery of the Eight Tails.
I mean, my whole thing with the chain scale is like, I don't really think any movement speed matters. I mean, reaction speed, it just comes down to the panel I showed. Like he literally just, I mean, he just stabs him point blank. It's not really like he could just. There's multiple ways he could avoid Chubaku Tensei. Number one, he could destroy it. Number two, he could just block it with the Yada Mirror and just completely dissipate it. So I don't think Chubaku Tensei is going to be an issue.
Okay, so what I'm saying is B moves at similar times as Naruto in the Jinchuriki fight. I can find the scan if you really want to know, but hopefully you remember. At some point, B kind of blitzes Naruto and saves him from a blast in the fight with the Jinchuriki, and Nagato is able to catch B at point blank.
Can you show me that?
Sure, I can try my best to find the scan. If anyone else in the gallery has a scan, please provide. Give me a second. Oh my goodness, where are these scans at? Does anyone have these scans? I know y'all niggas know what I'm talking about. Will there be?
I can tell you the chapter radius.
That would be good, Marcus, if you don't mind.
You should be looking at around 565, I want to say.
Okay. 565. Oh my god, this shit. Let's just go to Manga C.
Just to confirm, you're saying like, okay, Nagato greater in speed than like Soul Rip. That's what you said,
Yes,
right?
yes, that is my win con. We can
Okay.
get into Chibaku Tensei if it matters, but for now, that is the win con I'm presenting. Yep. All right, I'm still looking for the scan. If the judges are cool, we can move past this for a second while I find it. If you have any other scaling you want to present, Divine.
I mean, like I said, I don't really have scaling. It's just gonna only come down to a few abilities. Like we don't need to go into speed too much. We don't need to go into physical strength because I mean, their two fighters are more reliant on their abilities. It's not gonna be like a slugfest or anything.
So
So
based on the
it
scan you
really just
sent, your win con is just Totsuka Blade, like it happened in the manga. That's your win con.
it happened in the manga, and he blitzed him. If he could have blocked it, he would have.
Sure. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Give me a second. I'm gonna try not to take more than 3 minutes doing this. If I do, someone please say something. Bro, where the fuck is Naruto on this? Okay, there it is. And you said 665?
No, 565.
565. All right,
655 is like Obito's got the Jubi.
got you. 565. Let's just go through this real quick. Damn, I can't remember where this shit is. Does anyone know like what page it would be on or no?
I can just get it for you. It's whatever.
If you have it, please, yeah, get it because I've seen
I'll
it,
just
but
find it.
I don't know where it is exactly.
You're specifically talking about when he saves Naruto, right?
Yep, and it would be in this chapter during this exact fight. Yeah.
Okay, let me grab this for you.
Okay. Thank you.
It's when Naruto like gets caught by his pen. Then might take a couple while bits. I don't know if it might take a minute. Alright.
While if you could just drop that in evidence, Marcus.
Yeah, check evidence top left.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is it?
So basically, Naruto is about to get blitzed, and the scan before this, I think, they started moving at the same time. And B was able to react to the attack and move Naruto out of the way. So that is my evidence for scaling B above KCM1 Naruto, and Nagato is able to blitz B and react to him at point blank range. So I'm scaling Nagato's speed above B, above KCM1, who is relative to Edo Itachi.
So I mean, if here's my thing, right? I'm gonna ask you if all these things you're saying are true, and they are faster.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Pain or Nagato rather just not block it or dodge it or do anything? Because if they're all faster and should be according to your scaling, he
Sure.
could. There's many different ways he could have avoided the attack, and he just didn't.
Well, I mean, we see like throughout this whole saga, the war arc, many Edos just let themselves get killed, or just willingly, I don't know, find peace in some weird way, so they're no longer under the spell. So I'm not going to speak to Kishimoto's intentions when writing this. I'm just asserting that based on feats, Nagato can blitz Itachi, and if he is
Okay.
able to, he can land a Soul Rip and
Okay.
GG's.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. All right. Number one, you said Edo Tenseis have let themselves get killed for the sake of being
Sure,
freed, correct?
sure.
So during this whole second half of the fight, Nagato is completely under Kabuto's control, and has no reason to let himself die because he doesn't have his own free will. The only time he gets his free will back is once he gets started to get sealed by the Totsuka plate. So him just choosing to die here just wouldn't make any sense. Number two,
Well, that's fine too. I mean, I don't think that really affects my scale or my argument.
I mean, it kind of does if they're willing, all right. If they by their own free will choose to die, and he has no free will to make that choice, it kind of doesn't apply.
Actually, do you mind providing a scan or proving somehow that Nagato was under Kabuto's full control during the fight with Itachi?
Yeah, where the do I have it? Let me see. Hold on, let me read this for a second. Okay. So this scan right here basically is Kabuto basically saying, he says, not Nagato's not mobile enough. I thought the synchronized sight of the Renegon, would help Itachi, blah blah blah, whatever. Basically, the words don't really matter. It's basically just displaying that Kabuto is just using Nagato's eyes to kind of like see where stuff's going on to try and
So
kind of puppet master them through the fight.
cool.
So
So that's a good point that you make. So all that means is that Kabuto, with full control over Nagato, is just not as good as Nagato, because we see feats previously that scale Nagato above B, who scales above Itachi. So the only reason he would have gotten hit is because he was controlled by Kabuto.
can you show me his best feat when he's not under Kabuto's control? Because the
Well,
thing is like his strongest is when he's being or when he's taking the fight the most seriously is when he's under Kabuto's control. So that's really like the most we see out of him.
that could be true, I suppose, but the problem is that that argument defeats the scale that I made, which is a very solid scale. KCM1 relative to Itachi, and B clearly by the panel that Marcus sent, right? The panel I was discussing, scales above KCM1, able to react at least relative to him. But then Nagato is able to completely react to B at point blank range during their fight.
Hold on. Can someone remind me the chapter of the Itachi fight?
I'll see if I can grab it too.
557?
If you're looking for it, give me a second.
550? Okay.
Well, let me see. All right, that's 551, page 5 through 7
All right.
are the exact scans you're looking for.
I'm just briefly going through chapters. Okay, so here's my problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
The entire time that Nagato is at his strongest is when he's under control by Kabuto. He's under control the entire time he gets his red hair back, which indicates, he's whatever, if you think his full power amps or whatever, doesn't
Sure.
matter. He's when he gets under control. So the problem is you can't say, oh, that's Kabuto controlling him because that's all we see. We don't see if Nagato, I'm sure, is any better than what he was. We can't kind of put like he was being held back this much by Kabuto, or maybe he was even stronger by Kabuto's control. We just don't know. So what we see is what we have to go off of. So you can't just say, oh, he was under Kabuto's control. He's probably stronger. That just doesn't work. And any
Well,
feat before that, right, is with his white hair form. And with his white hair form, he literally relies on Itachi for walking places. So you can't do it.
that's fine because I'm not using the feat that I'm talking about specifically is where he's able to speed blitz B and then get his red hair back from that by taking away B's chakra. And that is on the exact page that I gave you, chapter 551, pages 5 through 7. I'll just drop the scans. That's fine. Give me a second. Oh, let me screenshot for you. This is going to be scan 1, dropped in evidence. And let's go scan 2. I kind of missed some of the edges. Let me know if this isn't good enough for you, and I'll try to screenshot it again.
Fine.
Scan 2, dropped in evidence. So this exchange is exactly when he gets his red hair back.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not. He gets his red hair back in. where was it? A previous chapter in on page 16. That's not when he gets his red. He's already had his red hair back. Not for a long time. He still has it before that instance.
You're right. It's actually one chapter before. Okay, you're right. You're right.
So
That's fine.
he lets himself get hit by a lariat, tanks
Yeah.
it, and then absorbs
Yep.
the chakra off his body. So
Yep. Okay, that's fine. I don't think that affects my argument at all. There's no way to prove that Kabuto is in complete control of him right now, so I will stand by my statement
no, there
that
is they indicate him being under control by the darkening of their eyes. Obviously, the Renegade is a purple color, but they show it in the chapter before when he gets taken under control, and it just never
do
goes
you
out
mind
of that.
showing
Yeah,
that scan?
yeah, I
Yeah.
can show that.
Okay.
Where do you get taken under? Then okay, right, right there. So you see on the
Announcement, by the
bottom.
way, quick announcement. Night Flame is now main judge. I'm co-judge because what the fuck are y'all talking about?
No, what are you doing? Thank you for that,
Okay.
Marcus. All right, go on.
Booga booga, nigga.
Okay, so anyway, if you look at the bottom right of the page, his eye darkening indicates the control over the over his body. So
Um,
so he's under control the entire time he has red hair. So
are you saying this is like a consistent thing? Like
yeah.
everyone gets darker eyes? Can you show me another scan of someone else getting darker eyes like this to
I don't.
prove that symbolizes Kabuto controlling them?
Well, let me see in the next chapter because the thing is like after that happens, even when Naruto tries to kind of talk to Nagato, he's just no response, nothing. Doesn't even give him like no response, not even a flinch. Um, the thing is with Nagato, his eyes are a little bit different. Everyone else has like normal eyes, so kind of has like a black outline and kind of there's a regular pupil. His Renegade's a little bit different, but like right after that happens, like he just becomes talking to the other people before that happens while he's in his weakened state, he's just completely kind of walling everything off and not responding to anything. So that
Wait,
kind of
before we continue, explain to me how this efficiently loops back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Please.
um
Like, explain to me if Divine wins this point, how does this help him?
because he was basically
Yeah,
just trying to
well,
say that
go ahead,
like
Vaughn, yeah.
he was trying to say that like we don't like Kabuto should be stronger than what he displays because
You mean Nagato, not
yeah,
Kabuto.
yeah. He's Nagato should be stronger than what's displayed because he was under Kabuto's control. And what I said is that this is the strongest we ever see Kabuto, and it's kind of unquantifiable how much stronger he would be if he was doing all these actions on his own.
All right,
Seeing
so Divine is saying
Wait,
Kabuto. He means Nagato for one, but for two, so I made the point that even though like Nagato got hit, obviously we all seen in the manga, he got hit by the Tosca blade. That's how he ended up taking an L.
okay, so
GG's.
I'm assuming what you're saying is Nagato is like weaker here, so normally he wouldn't be hit, and this is why.
That is the point I'm making, and the reason I'm making that
Okay,
point
cool.
is because I presented a scale that clearly scales Nagato, even if
Yeah, I
just
remember that. I
okay.
remember that.
So
Okay.
okay, cool. So you're up to
Yeah,
speed.
I just needed this explanation. Okay, thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I will say, Divine, that I am I'm not convinced that those darkening eyes mean that Nagato is now under Kabuto's control.
Let me see.
And if you do have a scan, that'd be great. But if not, I'm cool to move past this point. But that is my scale. That's my rebuttal. So we can
Okay,
move
hold
to
on.
the next point. I have another win con that I'd like to present. So
Let me see.
Marcus, what is
So
that? Wow, bro. Sorry, Divine. Go ahead.
all right, I found it.
Smiley face.
So okay, this right here Naruto clearly asked him a question. His eyes are, and you can see on the bottom of the page how it kind of like zooms into his eye. You can still see it's the same dark in color than what it was when he was in his white hair form. He literally asked Nagato, "What does this jutsu tell me?" And then just kind of blanks and just nothing. And his eyes, and they zoom in on his eyes for a reason to kind of demonstrate that he was under control. So, like I said, you know, it doesn't really like him being under control by Kabuto is just as strong as he'll be. That's pretty much it.
Cool. So that is fine, right? Let's for the sake of the point I'm about to make, grant you your argument, right? Not saying I concede, I do not agree, but let's say for this point that I'm about to make, I do. In this first scan you provided at 12:29 p.m., it pans over to Kabuto, saying that Nagato isn't mobile enough. Whatever, all of the struggles that Nagato is having with, or sorry, that Kabuto is having with controlling Nagato's body. Meaning, regardless if Nagato was being controlled or not in these previous panels, at this moment, Kabuto's control over Nagato is the reason Nagato got hit.
I mean, here's the thing though. Um, Nagato, we'd never even seen him with working legs since the Hanzo shit. Otherwise, he turned into pain. He was in his little chair thing, right? So even if he was by himself, he would still struggle to move with his legs. But I'm more concerned about like, here's the thing. Obviously, Nagato knows that his legs don't work as good as they should, right? If he was completely in control. And the thing is, he wouldn't rely on his own movement to dodge a Totsuka blade if his legs kind of aren't up to par to keep up with him. So if he had the ability to block the Totsuka blade, he could have done it by other means, and he still didn't. So
Sure. So the point that I'm making is, based on your assertion that he's completely under Kabuto's control at this point, if he were not, he would be aware that he was not mobile enough and would have taken other measures to defend against this attack because he very clearly, based on previous feats and my previous scale, scales above Itachi in speed and can react to him
so what
efficiently.
other means would he have done other than move
Um,
out of the way or show his
Almighty
arm?
push blocked it,
But he didn't do it. That's
but
the
he
thing.
didn't do it because he was being controlled by Kabuto. Highlighted in the panel you sent yourself, where Kabuto obviously does not know Nagato's full abilities, and he's struggling trying to figure out how to use him.
Right, but this is the only fight we see with Nagato Tensei, so it's kind of just unquantifiable on how much stronger he would be, or if he would even react if he wasn't under control. So the whole premise of the fight is him displaying what he does against what Itachi can do. So it just doesn't help your case.
Okay.
And
Okay.
also, here. Let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you a question. Does the Soul Dragon or the Soul Steel go through physical matter? Like if you and me, all right, you have the Soul Steel, I'm standing here, but I have a steel shield in front of me. Does that hand go through that shield and start pulling my soul away, or does it just
Um,
get blocked and have to go around it?
I will say yes because it goes through clothing, which is physical matter. So yes.
Mm, does it not tear through the clothing first before it gets there?
Nope. If you can find a scan proving it does, that would be lovely, but I will assert that it does not.
God.
Actually, I'm looking at a scan. It does not go through clothing. It just, I mean, it goes like you can pull the soul, whether there's clothing in front, regardless, whatever. It does not rip the clothes. But if you can find a scan where it does, that would be great. For your point.
Because here's my thing, right? Let's just assume that the entire WinCon is, Nagato getting close to Itachi, overpowering him and taking his soul out, which is not an easy thing to do, and it's not like a 1 second thing where you can just blitz,
Well,
boom, pull the soul out and just leave.
Well, here's the thing. I can also provide a scan if you like to see that even a portion, even if he's only able to pull out a small percentage of the soul, the opponent is weakened the instant even a bit of their soul is pulled out. So let's say he's not able to one shot, that's fine. He can pull out only 20% of the soul. At that point, he is very clearly stronger than whoever's soul he's pulled out and still GG's. And
So
actually, let me just grab the scan. Let me just grab the scan real quick.
thing is, we're also assuming that because number I've even talked about Itachi's Susanoo yet, which is kind of his major thing, right?
Yep.
I don't. Number one, it says that the Yadimir completely nullifies all ninjutsu, right? So,
Sure.
assuming that Nagato were just get close up to him, Itachi could just activate the Susanoo, and the number one, I don't even think the Soul Steel is getting through the Susanoo. Number two, if it touches it, it might just dissipate. So
If
I
it
don't even
touches
think the
the
wind kind would
mirror,
even matter.
yeah, if it
Huh?
touches the mirror, it may. I
Yes,
guess.
but he could like he can modify the mirror to whatever shape he wants. Like he could put the mirror all around his Susanoo. He can change
No,
its
he
shape.
can't.
No,
Have
he
we seen
can.
him do that? Can you
No, but it's stated. So
provide the
yeah,
statement, please?
I will do that.
And this is the scan proving that taking your soul out weakens the victim. So the not, it's not instant argument kind of falls to dust because it doesn't matter if he's even able to get a portion out. These two fighters who are kind of relative in a lot of ways, suddenly Nagato is much stronger if he's even able to take a portion of your soul out.
That's assuming Itachi even lets him get that close in the first place. Because here's the thing: is it loading? Okay. If you look at the bottom left, Yadimir, a spirit weapon without a physical form, with the power to change every one of its properties, allowing it to alter its attributes in accordance with the attributes of the attack, rendering the attack ineffective. So he can just manipulate the shield to be in front of Nagato either whenever he sends out the Soul Dragon, or if we even assume that the dragon or not the Soul Dragon, his Soul Steel can even get through the shield, or he get close enough to the Susanoo to even start pulling on it in the first place.
Okay. So your counter to my Soul Steel GGs is Yadimir and Susanoo.
Yeah, because it just
Okay.
prevents him from getting close
How
to
does Susanoo counter Shibaku Tensei though?
um because he has multiple means of destroying it.
Which are
Number one, the Yasaka beads that he used with Naruto and B. Um, he was um he was holding back, right? When they threw the Biju bomb, their Sengun, and the what's it called? The beads at it, right? He only displayed three, and he has access to four. So clearly, he's just holding back and could destroy that shit by his own means. And also, he could literally form his Susanoo and then jump towards the Chubaku Tensei and smash into it and just make it dissipate before there any rocks form around it. So it would kind of just you know fall apart. So it doesn't really can't really do anything with
um
Chubaku Tensei.
okay. I definitely disagree with what you're saying. Because of the fact, for your assertion to be true, you're saying that Itachi Susanoo is somehow stronger and capable of dealing more damage than 6 and 7-tailed Naruto.
The
And
problem
that just isn't the case. He had to unleash the 8th tail to break free, and even then he still didn't break free. His body just extended the volume of the Chibaku Tensei. So he was able to shoot blasts back at Pain. But we've seen Chibaku Tensei from a nerfed version of Pain, who is a nerfed version of Nagato, because he's controlling him via proxy with chakra, just take down a 6-tailed Naruto with Chibaku Tensei, unable to resist anything. And we know that the Susanoo is not impervious to environmental effects because Gaara is able to reach under Madara's Susanoo, pull him out of it. So what reason do you have that the Chibaku Tensei would not pull Itachi straight out of his Susanoo and then GG's? There's
because
nothing in Itachi's arsenal to break him out.
that's Six Tails version of Naruto is just far weaker than any opponents he's currently dealing with during this fight. So it doesn't really
So
make
6-tailed Naruto is weaker than Itachi? Edo Itachi?
yeah.
Why?
I mean he's just if he's moving on par, right, relative with KCM1 Naruto, and the thing is he wasn't a complete perfect Jinchuriki at this point, but he has control of the Nine Tails chakra. If he's moving relative to someone with control of half the Nine Tails, right? That should make him stronger than Six Tails by a large margin. And the
Is
thing
that
is that
your only argument to support what you're saying?
I mean, it's the only one I really need.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I need to disagree with that. I just don't think that's true. I think Six
How
Tails
how is that not
Naruto
true?
Six Tails Naruto is definitely stronger than Itachi. Because he's stronger than the Sasuke that beat Itachi. So even with his Susanoo.
Are you talking about like the fight that Itachi and Sasuke had?
Sure. Yeah.
Number one, that was a far weaker version of Itachi, seeing how he's literally on his deathbed. essentially, and he was literally stated to be holding back the entire time. So you can't compare that weaker version of Itachi to a stronger one.
That's fine. I don't need the fight with Sasuke to, support my scale. My question is why is Itachi stronger than six-tailed Naruto? And not just six-tailed, seven-tailed as well. And that's not my burden to prove. So if you disagree with that, I need some evidence,
So,
a
like
very
I
good argument
already
as to
said
why.
before, Naruto in control of Kurama's power when they're fighting against Nagato is just clearly over Six Tails because he just has mastery of the chakra and can not only that can combine because with the Six Tails he's at the complete mercy of Kurama since he's kind of just mindlessly moving. Kurama kind of took him over. So not only does he have more than Nine Tails chakra, he can also combine it with his to make his attack stronger. So the version that Itachi's currently fighting is far stronger than Six Tails in speed, AP, all this different shit. So I don't think anything that Six Tails has
Well,
done is
you know
relative to
why
fight at all.
that counter seems a bit ratty because your
Counter ratty.
previous statement was that Naruto and Itachi were both holding back. So them going toe to toe doesn't really matter, and your scale of KCM1 over Six Tails doesn't matter because KCM1 when he was fighting Itachi was not trying to kill Itachi by your own words. So
Because he was trying to get the information out of him. But the thing is like let's just assume, right? Everything you're saying is correct, and they're all just fighting full power and all this stuff. What I said, applies. It doesn't like Six Tails is just not as strong as the KCM1, whether anyone's holding back or not. Just that's just how it is. That's just what the facts are. Like if he's mastered this chakra, and we know it's stronger,
well, we
then
know that he hasn't mastered it because it's not
not fully
KCM2.
mastered, but he has
Right.
access to all the chakra, and obviously Kurama's still fucking with him at that point, but obviously not as much. But he just KCM1 is just stronger than Six Tails.
Okay, that's fine. So at this point, we can move past this. I think
That's fine.
those are my two win cons. So my first win con is based on my skill. Nagato can blitz Itachi. Why he didn't during the Totsuka Blade, out of the scope of my argument. I don't care about that. He could blitz Itachi based on the scale and just soul rip him, even if he's only able to do it partially. He can still weaken Itachi, so then he can definitely beat him. My second win con, Chibaku Tensei. We know that Itachi's Susanoo is not impervious because it's not even perfect Susanoo, and we saw Madara get pulled out of his Susanoo by Gaara's fucking sand. So Chibaku Tensei, GG's, and that's my scale.
Right.
Um,
So are you just trying to
that's
go to conclusions at this point?
I'm
or-
closing. Yeah, that's my closing remark.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. So, like I said earlier, right? It was already displayed in this, like in the manga chapter that Itachi just blatantly blitzed via Totsuka Blade through Edo Nagato. And the thing is like if he had the ability to block it, because the thing is he was still on guard, right? So just because he can't, like, if there's a big smoke cloud in front of you, right, and you don't know the outcome of a fight, you're still going to be on guard for what's happening. And if he could react, he would have. So that's why Itachi's just abilities are just blitz levels over Nagato because those displayed. And the thing is with the Soul Steel, it's not getting through the Susanoo. And the thing is the Chibaku Tensei, he already has
Wait,
means of
wait,
countering.
wait, wait. Why is it not getting through the Susanoo?
What do you mean?
That's conclusions.
Because
Let it happen, bro.
Because
Okay.
it's being blocked and or dissipated by the shield. So it's just not getting through. And the thing is with Chibaku Tensei, like I said, Itachi should just be fast enough to catch up to wherever he throws at Chibaku Tensei. Like his jumping speed plus the thing pulling him towards it, it'll just smash the fucking mirror into the Chibaku Tensei, dissipate it, and then it's done. So it doesn't really make a difference. So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay. Marcus, can you please slide down?
Sorry, that shit was pretty ass. My bad. I know.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Night Flame.
Catch one.
Is Night Flame in the VC?
He was just
No.
on a second ago.
There he is. Now
Who
he
keep just? Why did you keep leaving?
Someone DCing him? Is Gump dragging him back down? Like, what is that? Yeah,
Bro.
Gump's doing that. Oh well, let's just check.
I'm gonna drag
Bro,
you.
stop.
So okay, so I'll just kind of recap the debate, then I'll get different. So
Stupid bitch. Please
so
don't.
it started with the like divine argument where he said he won the fight, and then Aketch just said no because he's fat.
Okay, basically, he's gonna like do something that's wholly unnecessary. I decided to mute him. Basically, neither of you were able to effectively establish win cons. Both of you were able to adequately defeat one another's win cons. So the only thing left in the table to go over was speed. Speed was won by a catch, as every premise he made was not adequately attacked by Divine, therefore a catch wins. Hi there, there you go.
Hey,
I'll unmute
my
mine
boy
for that.
Aketch.
Hey, good shit.
That